All right. Thank you, everybody, for checking out a Sky Include video here. We are getting to know the people behind some of these different Handshake projects and domain extensions. So, Kirk and I, we've been chatting a lot on Twitter and, for quite a while. And I know he's been preparing for this and we're in the launch phase now. And there's a lot going on with the .legit domain extension, not Handshake. But how you doing today, Kirk?
I'm doing great, Mike. Thank you so much for having us on. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm really happy. I mean, we want more things like what you and what the team here is doing, and I'm building on Handshake, and it's just a pleasure for me to be able to get this story and the early days. So, can you maybe introduce yourself and the team here for us?
Sure, absolutely. My name is Kirk Salen. I've been operating on Twitter under the name .legit for a while now,
Awesome.
and that's where Mike and I first met and started interacting. These two gentlemen who are with me are some incredibly talented people that I'm very fortunate to get to work with. Devon Davis is heavily into music. He's produced some very, very famous pieces, as well as done a lot of work in the jingle industry, and is just a fantastic human being. And Jason Fryer is a really good friend of mine that I was very fortunate enough to do a lot of work with, as I used to be, or I still do. I'm a commercial and advertising photographer, and Jason's an amazing designer and artist. And I got to work with him on some of my favorite accounts, and he's just an amazing, talented person as well. And
Awesome.
so, yeah, we're excited to be here and excited to talk to you.
Sure. So I think a good first question is, how did you hear about Handshake and maybe the early stages of this idea?
Sure. Devon and I were working on a project involving like technology and the trucking industry, actually. And I started to go down like the domain rabbit hole, trying to figure out what we're gonna do for that solution. I was able to find our .com, and then I saw the ever-present advertising for Unstoppable,
Okay.
and that led me to start research on what else was out there. And I had already done some research and dabbled a little bit in crypto. I wasn't a huge crypto guy, but enough to understand exchanges and understand kind of how to buy and that kind of thing. And stumbled upon Handshake, just kind of digging around and doing some research, found Sky Include, and that gave me
Nice.
a whole lot of great information about how to
Awesome.
get started. And then went back to Devon and said, I found something that I think is just amazing and has tremendous potential. Do you want to work with me on this as well? And he said yes. And the more we got into that, we started to talk about what are we going to do? Like we have some names that we believe in, and we really believe in the project and what it stands for, and the freedom of the internet, and you know decentralization of the root zone, all that kind of stuff
Yeah.
that makes Handshake different than everything else. And what are we going to do with it? And so we started talking about what our options were, and neither one of us are builders. We're not devs, but we have a lot of, all three of us actually have a lot of ad agency or advertising industry experience. And so we kept going back to, well, we should build a brand. Like this has infinite possibilities. Like there's so many uses for Handshake domains, and they can do so many different things. And I immediately thought of Jason and thought, this guy's amazing and he would be a great fit, and the three of us could really build something together. And so we approached Jason, and my sort of fumbling definition of what Handshake was somehow convinced him that this had potential. And we started legit. We went through a whole list of names to try to decide which way we would go. And I think you've seen some of the promos that we've put out. I thank you
Yeah.
for
It's been
retweeting some of those. So Devon did the music for all of
okay.
those, and Jason did the design for all of those. So it's moving. I'm really happy with the way that the branding is leaning. It's been really clean because these guys are amazing.
That's awesome. All right. I love to hear from Devin and Jason, their interpretation. How was your reaction to hearing about this from Kirk and the project? Maybe Devin, want to go first, and then Jason?
Sure. Well, I've had an extensive uh, involvement with crypto because, in addition to some of my creative duties, I also run a couple of other companies, and one of them is an investment company. And so, started out with dealing with Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then I started finding out more about what these uh, coins were about, the differences between, what traditional investments are, what kinds of tools are available to you in traditional investments, and the kinds that are not available to you in crypto. And I just got further and further into, the differences between proof of use, proof of stake, and all of these different terms that were just kind of still sometimes make my head wet. And as we continue to work with the project that Kirk mentioned, trying to leverage technology against some of the challenges and the pain points in the trucking industry, and then Kirk introduced me to HNS. What struck me was just the sheer opportunity that seemed to exist in both the names side, buying the names and owning the names, and then the technological possibilities that seem to be wide open. And then what followed was this thinking of, as we started talking more, is Kirk and I and Jason started talking more about what we were going to do with Legit, the idea of taking on a sort of using who we are as professionals and bringing it into this space seemed to be a perfect opportunity, sort of a unique thing that we might be able to bring to the table. So
Great.
those were my thoughts and my impressions when I first started thinking about HNS, and then as we started talking more as a group, some of my thoughts as we went along.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you, Devin. It's true. I mean, it's interesting with your crypto background and seeing this. It's true. It's just you get. I love even doing these talks. Gets me more hyped. It hypes me up again. But yeah, it's like there's limitless opportunity with this. So it's really really interesting to hear your insight, your perspective. How about you, Jason? How do you feel about this when it was brought to you?
It's interesting. I'm a little bit behind the eight ball, behind these guys on crypto. I started to kind of dabble in it a couple years ago. Probably not the best time to really kind of learn about it, but I was just I think these guys kind of hit the nail on the head. But just there's just so many opportunities with everything. It was starting to make my head spin, and I hadn't heard of Handshake, HNS, any of this, and when Kirk approached me, I was semi familiar with crypto at the time, and it was all kind of new to me. But just I think, as Devon said, just as he's talking, my head's just starting to spin with all the possibilities, and it kind of feels like we're at the beginning stages of something huge. The pioneers, the wild west kind of come to mind, and it was just really exciting. And I built brands all my life. It's what I've been doing, and it just, I hadn't met Devon yet. I met Devon through this project, and, with his talents, and obviously knowing Kirk for a long, long time. And I mean, definitely the brains here. And yeah, it just everything kind of fell into place. And, if I'm honest, I'm still learning. It's a lot. And, I feel like everything's so new, and it just trying to keep up and catch up, and, the possibilities of everything. It still excites me, makes my head spin, when I think about it.
Great. Great to hear all your excitement. So let's dive in a bit more about Dot Legit. And I know you had other names you were considering and brands. And I like the idea you said, like, Kirk, it's a brand, right? You're building a brand, like a domain extension. Right. So maybe you give us some more of the vision of Legit, or what's your ideas here?
We went through a lot of different concepts, and like Jason said, there's just so many things, and Devon said it as well. Like the possibilities are nearly endless, right? So it wasn't a problem of can we find something that we think will be viable. It's like which one do we want to start with? Like there's so much, and even today, I think it was today, Sajin tweeted out an idea about, sorry, it was yesterday, but anyway, Sajin tweeted out an idea that he saw from an app a long time ago that would turn HNS names, make them compatible with phone numbers. So in order to contact companies, you could just basically dial the domain name instead of their phone number. And with the way that things are moving, it sounds like such a fantastic opportunity. And like it seems like every day something like that is coming out. And I'm so amazed with the sheer amount of possibilities within Handshake. And I'm always inspired by that. But honestly, with the fact that none of us are developers, and that all of us have different strengths within the branding and advertising world, it seemed kind of obvious that that's the way that we should go. But we talked a lot of different technical ways and a lot of different branding opportunities for Legit. And actually, we had a bunch of names. What was the one that it was Fish Rocket?
Oh,
Wasn't that it?
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were pretty close to going with that Fish Rocket.
Wow, cool.
Yeah.
Which I think is a cool name and a fun name too.
It's a cool name, but in hindsight, it's like, oh, we definitely picked the right one.
Yeah,
I
for sure.
agree.
I agree.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
But like we talk all the time about, who are we talking to? Who's the right demographic? Because the potential is so huge. And within the Handshake realm, we don't have any example to follow. Like everything is brand new. So, like the apps that are being built and the different ways that HNS is being used. I mean, I remember being totally blown away when Jordan launched HNS chat.
Yeah.
And I thought, this is revolutionary. Like this is it. This is amazing. You can sign in with your SLD. He made it so that you could send HNS to other members who are in HNS chat just with your SLD. The end-to-end encryption, like I'm still kind of amazed that it hasn't picked up and isn't more popular than it is, but I really believe that it will be. And we actually have Legit. One of the first things we did, I think I mentioned this earlier, is that we got a room in HNS chat for the Legit brand, which is cool. And so we all kind of started talking about what we believe in and what we'd like to see out in the world, and we just came up with the idea of Legit being about personal identity and about what makes you legit, and the theory behind using your SLD or your second level domain as a login online and becomes your digital identity just kind of struck home, and that was part of the brilliance of Jason's design. That I don't know if you noticed, it looks kind of like a thumbprint.
Yeah,
the logo itself.
The hat you showed, maybe actually screen sharing does work if you want, or you could show the hat or any other gear. Nice. Yeah, it's true. The fingerprint there.
And I don't know if we can screen share it if we want to.
Screen share would work. I don't know if you're ready for it or want to do it, but it should be able to be done by anybody on the call.
We could share the new promo, guys, if you're up to launching it.
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, absolutely.
We can do that. I can try to figure out now. Somebody have that up.
You can do it at the end too if you want.
Later.
Yeah, maybe later.
Let me see
if I can put. Let's see if I can. I think one of the just to sort of piggyback off of what Kurt was talking about. One of the things that struck us, I guess I'm kind of repeating myself, but the fact that there things that seem to be so wide open. One of the specific opportunities I think that we all saw as people who have been involved with brand building is the opportunity to bring to the need that I think we see is the need of bringing Handshake more to the masses so that more people have an understanding of what that is, of what Handshake is, and to be able to help grow the usage of it and bring more of a community, a broader community, because I think we've all identified that that will be the way that there will be real growth
Agreed.
and more development, you know. And while none of us are developers, what we think we brings to the table is the ability to kind of spur inspiration and perhaps get involved with helping to develop the technology.
Sure.
From what I understand about Handshake, the underpinnings of it is some of the more robust technology you'll find. So we certainly see all of the possibilities that could happen with it. I mean, just hearing Kirk talk about the phone number replacement, that's just crazy. You know, it's just amazing that all of this stuff is happening.
It's truly
And, you know,
amazing.
with the passage of time, you know, who knows what we'll see, you know, 2, 3, you know, 4 to 5 years from now. I mean, you know, we know what technology does with time, and what time does with technology. Who knows what will come about? You know?
Agreed. Yeah. I mean, my favorite part, you know, is this permission list, right? Like, and it's open. So we didn't really talk about the ICANN model, but of course the three of you could have gone that route, right? You could have contacted ICANN, or I don't even really know I mean, I know in Handshake we always think of it as $185,000 application fee and whatever their yearly fees and other fees and policies. You know, I mean, you could have gone that route, but you're pulled enough money to pay the app and waited years, and then, but then, like you're saying, I don't even know if it would have these abilities that the technology that Handshake is enabling, or the blockchain is any kind of blockchain is enabling. So it might not even be as powerful as what these these SLDs or domains are doing now. So, you know, that's my favorite thing to see is this. And I think the Handshake community needs you. I'm also not a really a developer either. So I think the community needs, of course we need more developers. Everybody needs developers, but I think the community also needs your help, our skills. And, you know, maybe we could go into that. Like, so because you're not developers, you're also able to leverage other developers, like you mentioned, Jordan Kirk about HNS chat. He's also made this platform. So you've chosen that because that's actually one of the troubles of Handshake. I mean, it's a good problem, but there's a lot of choice. And I know we chatted about this, I think, on a Twitter space or so, but you know, so maybe talk about how you stake. I guess they call it staking. It's not like, or, you know, you chose to delegate through the procedure that Jordan at Borrow Domains has put in place, but people registering, we should explain that now, but also, of course, we'll link, I'm taking notes, we'll link a lot of this on the show notes. Okay. But so Varo.domains is where people can register your .legit. Maybe just share how you decided to use their solution.
Sure. Really quick plug. So Varo.domains, that's Jordan. He goes by Eskimo, amazing guy, like super talented. I've never seen anybody solve solutions and have stuff live faster than Jordan. It's amazing.
Agree.
And we're super excited to be working with him. Yeah, man, there's a lot of stuff and a lot of really exciting growth in the now I get this, I stumble over these words: registrar, registry, register. So if I'm correct, so then Varo is the registry.
Yeah.
Is that correct? That's
from my understanding, right? Too. Sorry. Again,
yeah. So, and there's a lot of choices. I mean, of course, Namebase came out first. They were the first ones to do it, and with them, they, you know, I'm blanking on the name of the original registry that went down. That's no
Gateway.
longer with us, unfortunately.
Yeah, Gateway.
What?
Gateway.
Yeah, Gateway, unfortunately. So Gateway and Circa, and of
Pork
course now
bun.
Namecheap and Pork Bun, right?
Yep.
And that those were the kind of the OG, right? They were the original ones, and since then others have come along, and there's a lot of talk about, either you're with a really big registry and they have a lot of existing customers that go, and so your SLD or your TLD for selling SLDs is going to get exposure because you're at some place where people are already looking to buy. And the way I looked at that is I opened up some of these registries, and there's this massive list that you scroll through, and it's almost infinite. I mean, there are hundreds of names on there, and it's super easy to get lost. And so I thought, okay, well, we're creating a brand. We're going to be pushing the brand anyway. We're going to have to do our own advertising. So I don't know how beneficial it is under those circumstances to be with a huge registry. And then there's Impervious, which has gone kind of a different route than everyone else because they have bridged over to Ethereum and have what people consider to be true decentralization. They also have the opportunity to mint a domain and have it in a different wallet, which is, a totally different thing for Handshake. And that's really exciting. And I have to say, I absolutely love what Dot Records is doing with that system. And they're an inspiration, honestly. I mean, I love the creativity and love the community that they're building, and Impervious seemed like a great fit for them. So I'm super excited to see that growing and succeed. And when we talked about it, we kind of came down to the conclusion that since we're going to be pushing out our own advertising, I think you guys agree, like at least I felt that I want to support Handshake, like with what we're doing, and with bridging to another cryptocurrency, to another blockchain. I just felt like there has to be a solution where we can stay in Handshake and accomplish all of this in Handshake. And I know that there are some very, very talented people working on it, and that's probably going to come around in the near future. But I loved what Jordan was doing. Loved what he was doing with HNS chat. Loved what he was doing with Varo, which is keeping it like super, super simple. And it's, somebody told me today actually that when they went in to buy, it was Santiago, told me that when he went to buy a legit SLD, that it was the fastest and easiest experience he's had. So like I love what Jordan does and the customer experience that he provides with Varo. And I just felt like anytime that I had a conversation with Jordan and we talked about, well, maybe this could change, maybe that would work better. And then all of a sudden it was done. Like he's so fast to turn things around. And I just thought, this is the way to go. So I don't know if you guys have anything else to say about that process. We talked about it for quite a while.
Yeah, I would just say that ultimately it felt right to stick with Jordan because of the relationship, the rapport that we seem to be building with him. The fact that every time there was a problem, Kirk would mention, and then it was done. And Kirk has this great one-on-one relationship with him that really mattered to me for sure.
Great.
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks. This is nice. Yeah, I definitely second that. Jordan's great. I think he's super flexible too, and have really been contributing so much to the community. So yeah, that's Varo.domains. I think you have your own landing page. We should be plugging this more. Actually, do you have a traditional? You mentioned traditional domain, so maybe explain how people can find you or how your marketing campaigns and strategies.
Yeah, terrific. Thank you. We actually have a store with Shrag that's Jason has designed, and I'm super excited about it. We actually have some limited edition products up there right now that are only going to be up there for launch.
Great.
And it's an OG design, which is really cool. So if you want to be OG legit, then go to git.life, and
Okay.
that's Web 2. So any browser can go to it. Any browser has access to that, and that's our merch and our store. We have simple explanations of what legit is there now. There is a link on there to go to varo.domains, and it's actually, I mean, if maybe we can put it on screen, but varo.domains/tld/LGIT is the
That's
direct
pretty.
link for Varo. We also, for those people who are already using Fingertip or have another resolver, you can go to just LGIT/. You can go to, and that will bring you to the legit.life.
Okay.
Or if you want to go directly to our Varo page, you can just go to get LGIT, get legit,
I
get.legit.
like it. Okay. Nice.
And we're also expanding into Excerpt, which
Yeah.
I'm super excited about. And that's basically Jordan also
Yeah.
built this, or he co-founded that. And with another amazing member of our community
Exactly.
that also does the Shake.
Yep.
And that's a blog platform. So we're gonna have a blog both in Web 2 and in Web 3, kind of explaining, what Handshake is, what legit is. And then I'm gonna go through and put on some pictorial, basically how-tos of how to go to HNS chat and use your SLD, register your SLD there so you can get into our chat room there, to go into Excerpt and set that up so you can have your own blog on your SLD. And as soon as other things start coming up that are ways that we can utilize this technology, then we'll add those too.
Great. It's nice. Yeah.
Try to follow in your footsteps.
Yeah. Trying to build. Yeah. I have lots of stuff. I think also the HNS search is back.
Yes,
They're still in, like, I think even alpha or close.
it's
Not yet
an
open.
alpha. There's a lot of Sky Include on there, which is cool.
Yeah, we dominate. We dominate. Uh,
yeah. It's super exciting to see that come along and to have a search that's specific to HNS and to see that grow, and I'm super excited about that.
yeah,
That's good for the community, definitely.
there's a lot. So it seems like you're using merch as as one of your marketing tactics. Maybe you could give us some more insights and strategies or thoughts about that, both for the Handshake community
Sure.
and users.
One of my trusty cohorts wanna take a swing at that.
I can jump in. I think as these guys have said, without having a developer, we had a lot of meetings. We've got a lot of big ideas. Obviously, those can't be implemented at the moment. Figuring some stuff out, and obviously do need a developer. But in the meantime, with all of our backgrounds, as Kirk mentioned, in branding, advertising, music, marketing, just we're experts at just getting the word out and putting together pieces that people can relate to, and polished pieces that look legit, if you will. And so and these guys, I know I'm repeating these guys, but in addition to just getting the word out about our brand, we're just so stoked over just the whole platform, HNS and everything, that we want to bring people in and make the whole thing more mainstream. So as part of our brainstorming, we thought we need to make a lifestyle brand. We need to come up with a logo and a brand and a look and a feel. I think one of my way I always look at a brand, it's like, what I want to wear that brand on my shirt. Is it cool? And so that's kind of what our mission was, is to make something that can appeal to a wide range of people. And that people would be proud of, showcasing on their body, basically, walking around in public and being proud of it.
Awesome. So I don't know if you want. I mean, I'm definitely gonna check out the site. So I saw the hat. What do you want to share about some of the merch that you're working on or have, or show it? Or?
Jason, do you have those designs you can pull up?
I unfortunately didn't have it. I should have brought it. Don't have it on the.
Okay.
Okay, well, I could add it on after in the post editing.
We can do legit.life. It's
Okay.
up there too. But one of the things that we talk quite a bit about is, what can we do that's going to be good for the community? And what can we do that's going to bring more people in and share the potential of Handshake with people who have no idea that it exists? And so that's one of the reasons why we have a Web2 presence. It's one of the reasons why we decided to do a lifestyle brand where we can offer that, bring people into that, and then have them learn about Handshake within that ecosystem. So, what we're trying to do is do something that's going to be attractive to people who don't know about Handshake, that aren't necessarily attracted to the technology, knowing that once they do know about the technology, they'll be just as excited about it as we are.
Seems
Sorry,
like it's okay. It's okay. It seems like it's the phone screen, mobile or
Yeah,
iPad.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to.
Oh, there
I'm
it
trying.
is. Oh, okay, I see me. Okay.
Are you
Yeah, I see
seeing
the site now. I
the
see it
site?
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But
Yeah. Okay.
oh, there it is.
there.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I like the hoodie.
Yeah. I mean, I'm burning to get my hands on some of this stuff myself.
It's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how well it's presenting, but because I'm doing this on my phone, but
I can
um,
see though. I mean, I can see clearly now. It's nice. Yeah, I like the styles for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. I think
Oh, the OG there.
great.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's great.
That's
Yeah,
part of the
just below
limited
there, we're
collection.
talking about legit ID, and then there's a
Yeah.
link to borrow on there as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. All right. So
And
I
we've
think
got some other stuff that we're some other things that are going to take the technology into kind of a different direction that we're planning on, and
yeah, I want to
as soon as those are public facing, you'll be the first to know.
yeah,
So we're
definitely
super
keep me
excited about
posted.
where
I'll
it's
try
going.
to share about it. Like but it's so I think there's some maybe I think we start to wrap up. This has been a really fascinating conversation. I appreciate everybody's time getting us all together. So we got the sites and some yeah, to still have time to be OG. What's some of the like launch timelines or I think there's a special price for right now for a little bit longer.
You're
Maybe we
right.
don't share the exact number. This will be on for a while, but
Yeah, we it was for the month of January that it's half off for an SLD.
yeah,
So you get a discount for being OG, and then the limited edition merch is going to be up for a little bit longer.
okay.
And yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll put up a Sky Include coupon code,
I
get
know,
some
right?
people
We should
some
all,
deals.
yeah, we got to do this, I think, for everybody. I mean, I think if we all come on, I think it does seem like the next stage of Handshake is, I think, I sell on Amazon and various platforms. I mean, if people can really make a living off of this, right, as an income for everyone, I think that will be where we can really get to the next level. Of course, we need, which would help with adoption. But then
I think a lot of people want to go full time, like they want to be full time in Handshake, and certainly I'm one of those people.
yeah,
I'm all in. And I just think the potential is amazing and there's so many people doing amazing things already, and I just can't wait to see what's yet to come.
yeah,
And we do have actually that promo. If we've got time, I can show the promo that we're going to release
yeah,
probably
for
on
sure.
Monday.
We got time.
Let's see.
I hope you don't hear my daughter screaming about lunch or something, but that's why I use this because it doesn't get she's yelling.
No,
I've
I
got my
totally
door
understand about
closed.
that. I was shooting in my studio, and we live above it, and a client asked me if I had a cat because my daughter was complaining about something.
Oh no.
Let's see. Let's try. So this is the reveal of our
All
new
right, here we
promo.
go.
Oh, and by the way, just Devon did the amazing music on here, and Jason did all the graphics, and I just get to enjoy it here. Hold on.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Nice. That is cool. That's great, man. So it definitely seems like you're going more for the IDs versus like websites, and which probably is a smarter way. Or I think in Handshake, there's two directions. Of course, we want both, but one is website,
Sure.
and the other is like a username. So I definitely feel like, my summary is you're going more of the username or the identity direction. Of
That's
course,
definitely
hopefully.
a strong push, and I think that and if you guys, I think you guys agree with me that there's just a lot more people who would need an
Mhm.
internet ID than would need a
Yeah,
website.
agree.
And we're certainly gonna do both. Like right now, I'm working on a tutorial on how to set up a legit SLD on Excerpt. So
Okay.
like that's basically, your own blog,
Yep.
So I feel like we're going to try to open this up and have as many options as we can for our customers. Try to educate them in the ways that they can use the names in different ways to the best of our ability. But I think that when I go back to what are the use cases, what do I think is going to happen, in the future with this? I think that if you present something to someone who uses the internet every day and tell them, here's an SLD, you never have to enter your password again.
True.
Like, how amazing is that? Like, I have a password manager now that like creates the passwords for me. I don't know what they are. Like, I can't remember any passwords anymore. I have, like hundreds of them for the different things that I do. And if I had a solution that was mainstream where I didn't have to do any of that anymore, hallelujah, man. That would be amazing. That would be life
And
changing.
completely
So
secure.
I think that's coming.
Agreed. Agreed. Agreed.
And with the Varo setup that Jordan's already put in place, and the use case for that, both HNS chat, but also Varo setup specifically for Excerpt, and I had no part in it at all, but from using it, it seems like you register a, a, a text record on Varo for your SLD through Excerpt, and then you're in. And then whenever
Right.
you open it, it just knows that it's you. It's just so simple and amazing. I really think that we're seeing the future right now.
It's happening for sure. Devin, I felt you were saying a couple of things, and then
Sorry, I didn't mean to
Well,
cut you
oh
off.
no, I
I thought,
just want to hear his parts too.
yeah, I was just piggybacking really to just the fact that you have all of that in it, and it's pretty much as secure as it's going to get. The security part of it really matters. You have, let's say we're at that day where Handshake is broken wide and people are using it in that manner. It will be as secure as they've ever been able to say that they've ever been using anything on the internet,
Great.
which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's true. I
Security
mean,
is
it was built, by really talented, the founders were very talented people that thought about security and scalability. It's really amazing.
yeah.
Okay. I think that's a wrap. But yeah, I think there's a lot. I took some notes up. I think me, Kirk, I'll make a blog post. I think we'll just do this on skyinclude.com/legit LGIT. So they can, of
Okay.
course, it'll also be on YouTube, but we'll put it there. And I'll put the links and some notes, if maybe even some pictures or something too, but the video and everything. So thanks for coming on today, and let's keep
Thanks
on
for having
growing.
us.
Yeah, it's been
Absolutely.
fun. It's been inspiring.
Appreciate being with you. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thank you so
Jason.
much, Mike. It's a pleasure as always, and I appreciate having this on.
Yeah, I want to see this, follow this journey, this exciting times.
Very good.
Absolutely.